Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Meli, but y'all could call me Melodrama. I recently changed my YouTube name, just my brand name in general. I took a break for personal reasons, but I'm back here, and I thought, what better way to come back than actually showing a bit of my personality? So I decided to do a Q&A video. I asked you guys just, to ask me any questions that came to mind off of a list of topics I came up with, and I was originally like, should I just do a regular Q&A? But then I was like, this is a makeup channel. Like, maybe I could do a get ready with me. And everybody's like, yeah, do get ready with me. Y'all getting ready with me to go absolutely nowhere because, we still in a pandemic, unfortunately. It's hard. I miss life before COVID. I'm a very outgoing person. So yeah, stay safe. Wear your mask, whatever. Yes, no, not whatever. Wear your mask. But yeah, definitely chill back. This is a very chill, relaxing video. I'm gonna read the questions randomly. Originally, I was thinking about grouping them together, but I'm just like, I feel like it's funnier random because the way I'll answer it wouldn't really be, how do I put it? It would just be more authentic. The first question is, this is a good starter. Where am I from? Can y'all tell where I'm from? I'm gonna give y'all like a few seconds to guess.
A few moments later.
Yeah, y'all, I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I'm from New York. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, but my parents, they're from the lovely, beautiful Caribbean island of Barbados. But yeah, I'm Caribbean, first gen American. Whatever you do, just don't call me a Yankee. Like, do I look like a baseball player to you? I'm not athletic at all. All right, next question. My favorite foods. Like this changes every couple of years. For me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say my favorite food is rice. Cause rice, it don't matter what culture is from, rice be slapping. I love me some rice. If I go to like a Mexican restaurant, Caribbean restaurant, Thai restaurant, whatever it is, like I'm always getting something with rice. I guess another favorite food of mine could probably be salmon, even though it's something I personally will say is a favorite food for me to cook. All right, this is just a random funny question. What truly creases your Air Force Ones? Negativity, because if you were thinking positive, your shoes wouldn't be creasing. Nah, let me stop. A lot of y'all ask me questions about like how I create, how I am as a creative. So let me see which one will be the easiest to answer. How do you keep yourself motivated / stay positive? I feel like motivation varies depending on like what type of motivation. It's hard, I'll say, like to like force motivation. It just comes naturally. I keep myself motivated by telling myself, things would get better if you're down. It's temporary because I feel like that's just life in general. It's a cycle of ups and downs, but it's all about like overcoming it. So with me, it's just telling myself, things would get better. And I feel like another way to just stay positive and keep motivated is the people around you. Just people who constantly remind you that life isn't all bad and like just continue to big you up. Next question. All right, favorite TV shows and movies. I hate questions like these, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like people expect because you're in the media field, like you can answer these questions, but I don't like saying I have like a favorite movie or a favorite TV show because that can change in a quick second if you've been, that could change in a quick second if you binge watch another show. Let's start with TV because even though I studied film, TV, that is my niche. If you know me, that's all I watch. I just, most of the times you hit me up, I'm just saying I'm watching television. I primarily watch like sitcoms and cartoons. So for me, my two favorite sitcoms of all time, I'll have to say, is Everybody's Chris and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I just love comedy where it's like satirical, relatable. Sometimes it can be very hilarious, but it's also like, it deals with real issues in a great way. It's not like forced. It's not, inaccurate. What else in terms of shows? Cartoons. I'm not gonna say my favorite cartoon because it's so hard to narrow a cartoon, like just one. Cause like I have so many that like touch my heart and I still watch to this day. Let's talk about movies. I feel like I was talking about too many TV shows. Like I said, I don't have a favorite movie. I used to say it was The Dark Knight. I used to say that was my favorite movie since it came out when I was like, what, 11? I don't know if I'll say it's my favorite movie now. I'll probably say, no lie, I think my favorite movie will probably be Mean Girls. I've seen it so many times, and to this day, I don't get tired of it. I love satirical pieces. I don't know, it's one of those movies, like, it's clearly a 2000s movie, but it's not dated in the sense, like, it's like the humor aged pretty well, I feel. Were you nervous when you had sex for the first time? I actually wasn't. Like, if anything, the person who I did it with for the first time, like, I don't like really saying losing your virginity, but like my first time, the person I was with, I feel like they were more nervous for me, if that makes sense. Me, I think I wasn't nervous at all simply because I was just ready to do, like, I feel like when you know you're ready to do something and you mentally, like, you prepare yourself to do so way before, like, I was active or like even thought about being active, I'll say, I still took it upon myself to do research. In society, sex is taboo. My first sex education, like, class or whatever was like in elementary. Since then, I knew it was pretty, like, watered down, cis heteronormative type of lessons, I guess I could say, or like teaching. Since then, I was like, I took it upon myself to like try to educate myself, whether it's like attending workshops, honestly watching porn, just picking up pamphlets from, like, I don't know, like health clinics or whatever. Like, I just tried to like self-educate before I engaged in anything, so I kind of understood to an extent like what I'll be getting into, and I think that's why I wasn't nervous. And I think a huge reason why for that research is just like, trying to figure out like, your sexuality. Yeah, so the next question somebody asked me was, do you identify as bisexual? And they asked if the word and then they said, I don't know if the word identity is good. It's actually to me, it's a good way of asking that, like, instead of saying like sexual orientation. Yeah, I still do. So for those who don't know, or well, mostly, I never talked about it on my channel, never talked anyway other than like voiceovers, but I am bisexual. I identified as bi since I was 16. Yeah, so I came out when I was 16, and I've been open ever since about it. It's never been a secret. I feel like I could go more into detail about it, but I feel like that's something I would talk about maybe over like a coming out story type video, something pride related. All right, next question. So somebody asked me who inspired me to get into makeup. It's not really a who, but I'll say it's a what. So I first got into makeup for prom, so that was almost 6 years ago. Yo, I'm old. But no, that was almost 6 years ago. So for prom, that was the first time that I ever actually wore foundation. Prior to that, I never wore foundation, concealer, none of that. All I used to wear was my wing eyeliner from 9th to 12th grade. Occasionally would throw on a lipstick. And I learned how to do my brows senior year before prom, but other than that, yeah, no makeup, nothing. From then, I really liked just the art of makeup. I feel like I always did as a kid, but just never experimented much on it. Yeah, once prom happens, I was like, okay, I gotta start wearing makeup in college. So I bought myself some foundation, and specifically winter break, the first winter break of college. So January 2016, that's when I had nothing to do. I wasn't working at the time, no winter classes. So I was just staying up late at night, messing up my sleep schedule, watching makeup videos. And I was like, yo, Black women are mad talented. And I'm like, yo, if they can do their makeup and find products in their complexion, which I thought I couldn't at first, because it was very hard back then. It's still hard now, but it was very hard to find like foundations in 2015. Mind you, 2015, like, imagine how people had to deal with that in the 70s and like stuff. So yeah, just finding like that inspiration from just watching people on YouTube, I was just like, yeah, if they can do it, I can do it. Next question. Do I have any brothers or sisters, and how's my relationship with them? Y'all, I have one sister, and I can't stand that heifer. Like, nah, I'm joking. Now, if you know me, I'm really close to my big sister. I have one sister, and I love her to death. I consider her like my first ever best friend, if that makes sense, because low key, you know, all your friends, they didn't meet you while you was in the womb, but she did. She was outside, you know, my mama's stomach or whatever. And yeah, even though we have a similar age gap, we're like 7 years apart, we're really close for people, I feel like, because I have friends who their siblings are like a year or two apart and they're now nowhere near as close. What's the next question? Do you believe body counts matter? No. I feel like those are things in society where they're so problematic. For instance, let's just use my age for example. I'm 23, right? If somebody had like, okay, let's first add gender and take it out. So if a woman is 23, right, and she has like 23 bodies, they're just like, oh, she a hoe, she for the streets, she a thought, this, that, and the third. But like if it's a dude with 23, if he's like has 23 bodies, he gets propped for that. Like, oh, okay, he a player. Oh, he get the shorties, da da da. And it's just like, what? That to me, that's so dumb. And then it's also like the thing where if you're 23, just in general, and you have like 23 bodies, somebody's looking at you like, damn, like you a hoe, you this, that. And if you're 23 with no bodies, then they're just like, yo, how you still a virgin? How you da 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 da? Sex is personal to me. Like, I feel like it's nobody's business how much bodies people have, unless you're just like, I feel like even if you're sleeping with the person, as long as if it's just like a fling or something, they don't even need to really know how much bodies you have. What's more important to me, honestly, is if you having sex, you know what you're doing. Like, one, don't be talking all that shit like, oh, I got my, like, you know, you have mad bodies or whatever, but you're horrible, you're horrible in bed. Like, that whole thing just don't rub me the right way. That's not, to me, that's not important. And it's just like, you know, it just contributes to sex shaming. What I care about most importantly when it comes to sex is, are you testing yourself? Like, you have all these bodies or whatever, even if it, like, it don't matter if it's 1, 5, 10, 15, are you getting tested? Are you, I don't want to say clean, because there's a stigma where people be like, oh, people with STIs are dirty. They're not dirty, they just have STIs. So it's just like, are you checking up on yourself? Next question. What do I look like? What do I look like? I look crazy right now. What do you look for in a guy / girl? Correction, what do I look for in a person? Honestly, I look for somebody with ambition. Nobody's saying you have to have like your life figured out. You have to know what career you want, because like I said, right now I'm 23. I do not expect other 23-year-olds to necessarily know what they're doing regarding jobs. Some of them, you know, you don't have to be in college at 23. You don't have to necessarily have a good paying job. It's like more so like, are you like, you just don't want to be stagnant. I think that's the first thing I look forward to. Somebody who is ambitious, who, you know, they have goals, or even if they're not sure of what exact like direct goals they are, they're still trying to just, you know, grow as people. Another thing I look for in a person is just somebody who is compassionate, who cares about like people. You don't want to end up being with somebody who's very like narcissistic, who they only care about themselves, because if you notice that they're not really like supportive of people and everything's just about them, then they're gonna treat you the same. Honestly, I look for somebody who's outgoing. Sometimes, you know, they have to be like opposites attract, but realistically speaking, you have to like kind of have somebody who matches your vibe. All right, next question. Should you say thank you to the bud man, and why not? Of course. You should always look. That's a service. Like, that's the same as getting your nails done, Uber Eats. Like, that's a service. You should thank people who your service workers. Like, they was busy. Look, we did this. They was busy out here during the pandemic, still selling y'all apes and stuff. You know, when they were supposed to be 6 feet apart. Like, you better thank them. What's one song that everybody but you can't stand? If anything, I feel like there's songs that everybody likes that I don't like. But I guess I'll say like the beatbox song, like from the Junebug challenge on TikTok. Like, I don't know who dislikes it. I like the song. I think it's cool. Unpopular opinion. Oof. I got a lot. because I was unpopular growing up. Nah. Also, in general, I'm just a non-traditional person, so I feel like there's definitely like a lot of unpopular opinions out there. First unpopular opinion that I have is that pineapple belongs on pizza. Like, some people be like, no, it don't belong on pizza. Like, when you say, oh, I like pineapple on pizza, they throw a fit. They be so dramatic, like, yeah, nah, pineapple don't belong on pizza, and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, nigga, it's not that deep. It's one of those things where I feel like people try so many different types of quote unquote exotic foods, or like just they have strange combinations. Like, I like it, but some people find milkshake, like if you dip your fry in a milkshake, weird. Like, y'all could do that, but you find a pineapple on a pizza weird. Or like, y'all eat burgers with pineapple, but it's so strange with pizza. Like, it's still fast food. I feel like it's something that people just hop on the bandwagon. Like, they hate it because other people hate it. Like, they put anchovies on pizza. To me, that's more disgusting than like pineapple. Like, come on. Next unpopular opinion: gender reveal parties are a waste of time, unless it's like done like kind of like how my sister did it for like my nephew. Practically it was a baby shower where, you know, they revealed at a point, oh, he's gonna be a boy. Like, you know, it's done cute and innocently. But like, I have a few problems with the concept of gender reveal parties, because one, I feel like some people, when they do it, it's done like just out of like elitism, I think is the best word to say. They go so hard, they spend so much money to do something that the baby's not even aware of. You feel me? Like, it's definitely a party for them. People literally died. Like, California was on fire. What was it, 2019, 2020? Because of just to find out, oh, this is a girl, this is a boy. Like, something that the doctors could give you a paper of. Like, to me, it's just silly. It reminds me of like the promposals, like that were big, like when I first, you know, when I was in, like in high school, around when I was in like when I had my prom. But that was, to me, it's different, because like a promposal is kind of like an innocent children's version of like a wedding proposal. But like, yeah, gender reveal is just like, people do the most. Like, they get in like explosives just to like light them up pink and blue. Another reason why I have a problem, it's not even like some people think it's transphobic, because, you know, my lips are looking dry, but some people think it's, you know, transphobic or non-inclusive. It's hard to say, because like, just because somebody throws a gender reveal party for their kid, that doesn't mean that they'll be like non-accepting to their child if they come out as trans in the future. I don't like how people, you could tell like some people, when they throw gender reveal parties, it's like they have a specific preference for the child. And it's okay if you're like, oh, I want my first child to be a girl, or if I want my first child to be a boy. But when you get upset that the child is not the gender you expected and you throw a tantrum, that's why I don't like that. It's an unpopular opinion. Like I said, I got so much. There's nothing wrong with open relationships, or like, you know, polyamory, polygamy, because I feel like that's something in society, like in Western society especially, like it's very taboo. You hear somebody saying they're dating two people, or they're talking to multiple people, or whatever, everybody just like, oh my god, that's weird, that's the devil, da, 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 da. And it's just like, people gotta understand this quote: different strokes for different folks. I'm not saying I am in one, I'm not saying I will ever do one, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that as humans, we really need to be open-minded and understand that people operate differently. The next unpopular opinion I have, I feel like religion and spirituality is is an individual's journey. One, like, a lot of people expect people to believe in the same faith that they do, or if they don't, they judge it and they're just like, this is the wrong way. Or if somebody's like not, you know, they practice the like religion, or like different, like maybe they don't go to church often, they don't wear like say someone's Muslim and they don't wear hijab, whatever. Like, some people like have judgmental notions about how people practice like religion, faith, spirituality, and I feel like that's definitely where you're crossing boundaries, where you're judging other people. To me, it's a personal journey, because when it comes down to this, whether you're religious, non-religious, whether you believe in deities, higher powers, or just spirits, you believe in none of that, you believe maybe more scientific stuff like evolution, it doesn't matter. To me, it's more like you figuring out what is for you, because you're the one who's going on this journey. You're the one it's like your afterlife, your life now. Like, it's, to me, it's nobody's business. Once again, different strokes for different folks. If you could only use one eyeshadow palette, which one would you choose? Why? Why would you ask that? I feel like this question was just meant to mess with my mind. It's hard to answer that question. One is because me, honestly, I never used like high-end eyeshadow palettes. Like, everything has honestly just been drugstore eyeshadows, so I feel like there's a whole world I have to explore first before I determine like which eyeshadows, like what's the one palette I need. If anything, I'll just say Juvia's Place. I'm not gonna say a palette, like I'll just say their whole line, because they do their eyeshadows. Like, I use this palette like for the blue and whatever color this is, and y'all, this, like, their shadows are no joke. It doesn't matter what color you are, it doesn't matter your undertone. It's very pigmented with or without like a eyeshadow base. But in general, of a palette, I feel like a neutral palette. Yeah, despite me loving colors, I feel like any neutral palette would be definitely like the one palette to choose, because it's versatile. Like, I can use it you know, just for everyday looks. If I'm going on a date, I'm going on an interview, you know, going to like a job, going to school, like it's one of those things like you can use anywhere. So I feel like whatever palette I pick will probably be a neutral palette. What is my favorite self-care activity? What is my favorite self-care activity? I feel like I have a few. One, I'll say makeup. Like, some people don't view it as like self-care, they view it as like self-hate. But baby, if I really hated myself, I wouldn't show you my natural hair, my natural face in its natural state, and then show you how I could glam up without changing it. Like, you still know I'm Meli, right? You know? Nah, but yeah, makeup is one. I'll say another self-care activity of mine that's my favorite is definitely drinking tea. I'll say that, drinking tea. Like, if you know me, I love me some herbal teas. Another self-care activity I'll say I personally enjoy is walking. Like, I used to get made fun of a lot by my like friends and stuff for like wanting to walk everywhere, but like, look, if I could save $275 by walking 25 to 35 to whole 45 hour, I'ma do it. Like, not even I'm being cheap, but it's like, it's just fun. Like, always loved walking. Like, it's like one of those things. Like, it's exercise without realizing that it's exercise. You feel me? Another self-care activity that's my favorite is the if you get what I'm saying. Somebody was like, what mythical creatures you believe in? None. They're mythical, like, if that makes sense. I could say like creatures that I actually do like, not that I believe in, but like I just liked as a kid. So me, I'm into aquatic. Like, I've always been into like aquatic stuff. So I always liked mermaids. Another thing I liked was dragons. Like, I like dragons. I don't know if that's just the fire side in me. I'm an Aries, for those who was wondering. I don't know if I give off Aries vibes. Like, people, I don't know. Oh, but yeah, I want to go back to unpopular opinions, because I feel like I got so much and I thought of some things. I feel like zodiac signs are interesting, but I feel like they're definitely not what people should use to like determine partners. This should be a popular opinion, but there's a lot of people out there who literally be like, I'm not gonna date this zodiac sign. Oh, these are like, they hear your zodiac sign and they're just like, I knew she was this. I knew you was an Aries. I knew you was a Gemini. Oh, Scorpios is this. Blah, blah. And it's just like, y'all, some of y'all be like 40, 50. Like, y'all old enough to be my parents talking like this. Zodiac signs, that's another thing too. It's like, yes, there are constellations and stuff, but it's not necessarily something that can be proven. Like, you can't necessarily prove that like these characteristics are because this person was born at a specific like time of the year. You know, it's just like, to me, that's just silly to be holding people like accountable, like, and saying, oh, because you're this zodiac sign, that's why, like, or this group of zodiac sign people are bad and stuff. Like, y'all need to get over y'all ex. That's what it is. Like, just because you was with the little, I don't know, the little Gemini, the Scorpio, the Aries, well, the signs y'all be hating, Leos. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's the same 4 of 3 signs y'all always hate on. You need to get closure from that instead of like just hating on like a person, like a group of people who happen to just be born in the spring or like the fall, like the summer. Like, what, like, bro, like, grow up. Next question: what is the freakiest thing you ever did? That's between me and. Yeah, that's it's one of those mine, yo. Like, me personally, I feel like I like when people are open about sex. Sex is something that's natural for people to do, but like, for me personally, I like to keep that personal. So I'm not gonna say like what was the freakiest thing I did, because who knows, that could change tomorrow. That is it for the look. In terms of makeup, I'm gonna put all the products I use in the description box below. If you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video.